The elevator doors slid shut with a soft ding, sealing Rogue Thompson inside a small metal box with a man he had never seen before. The car lurched upward for half a second before grinding to a halt, lights flickering once, twice, then settling into a dull emergency glow. Rogue's stomach dropped as the realization hit. They were stuck. He pressed the call button frantically. Nothing. He jabbed it again. Still nothing. The stranger leaned against the wall, arms crossed, looking almost amused. "First time?" he asked, voice deep and calm. Rogue turned. The man was tall, broad-shouldered, with dark hair neatly styled and a jawline that could cut glass. His suit fit like it was made for him, and his green eyes held a quiet confidence that made Rogue suddenly aware of how rumpled his own button-down was. "Yeah," Rogue admitted, trying to sound casual. "You? Third time this year. Building's old. Happens." The man extended a hand. Jordan Hayes. Rogue Thompson. Their palms met, Jordan's grip warm and steady. Rogue let go quickly, cheeks heating. They stood in awkward silence for a moment. Jordan pressed the emergency phone. A crackly voice answered, promised help in 20 to 30 minutes, then cut off. "Great," Rogue muttered. "Just great." Jordan slid down the wall to sit on the floor, knees bent. "Might as well get comfortable." Rogue hesitated, then joined him, leaving a careful foot of space between them. The air felt thick, the hum of the stalled machinery the only sound. "So," Jordan said after a minute, "what brings you to the 23rd floor?" "Meeting with a client. Graphic design stuff." "Nice. I'm heading to the 35th. Architect. Big project pitch." Rogue nodded, not sure what else to say. Jordan filled the silence easily. "You from here?" "Ohio. Moved here 6 months ago for work." Jordan whistled. "Big change. How's the city treating you?" "Overwhelming. Loud. Lonely sometimes." Jordan studied him. "Yeah, it can be." They talked about the city, the subway, the rent, the way everyone seemed in a hurry. Jordan had stories. A client who wanted a skyscraper shaped like a sailboat. A rooftop party that ended with someone falling into the pool fully clothed. Rogue laughed, surprised at how easy it felt. Then Jordan asked, "You seeing anyone?" Rogue's throat tightened. "No." "You? Single?" "Been single for a while." Jordan paused. "I'm gay, by the way. Figured I should put that out there since we're stuck together for who knows how long." Rogue's heart stuttered. He had never heard someone say it so matter-of-factly. "Oh, okay." Jordan raised an eyebrow. "You all right?" "Yeah, just not used to people being so open about it." Jordan smiled, gentle. "You don't have to be. No pressure." Rogue swallowed. "I'm not out. My family, they're pretty traditional. Church every Sunday. The whole thing." Jordan nodded slowly. "I get it. Coming out isn't a straight line." "No pun intended." Rogue laughed despite himself. "My parents think New York is corrupting me already. If they knew." "They don't have to know yet," Jordan said quietly. "You get to decide when." The words hung between them. Rogue felt something shift, like a door creaking open. The elevator jolted suddenly. Lights blazed back on. The doors slid open on the 23rd floor. Rogue stood, legs shaky. "Guess that's our cue." Jordan rose too. "Hey, if you ever want to talk more, or just grab coffee here." He pulled out his phone. Rogue hesitated, then typed in his number. Their fingers brushed as Jordan took the phone back. "See you around, Rogue Thompson." Rogue stepped out, heart pounding harder than when they'd been stuck. The next morning, Rogue's phone buzzed with a text from an unknown number. "Jordan. Still alive after yesterday?" Rogue stared at the screen for a full minute before replying. "Rogue, barely. You?" "Jordan. Survived. Coffee tomorrow? My treat. No elevators involved." Rogue's thumb hovered. He thought of his parents' last call, their questions about whether he'd met a nice girl yet. He thought of Jordan's easy smile. "Rogue, sure. 11 a.m. at the place on 6th? Jordan, perfect." The next day, Rogue arrived early, nerves buzzing. Jordan was already there, 2 coffees on the table, looking effortlessly put together in a navy sweater. They talked for hours. Jordan asked about Rogue's design work, his small-town childhood, the way he'd always felt like an outsider. Rogue opened up more than he meant to, about the church youth group that made him feel guilty for feelings he couldn't name, about moving to New York to find himself, but still feeling lost. Jordan listened without judgment. I came out at 22, he said. My parents were shocked, but they came around. Not everyone does. Rogue looked down at his cup. Mine won't. Maybe not, Jordan said softly. But you deserve to live for you, not for them. The words landed like a stone in still water. They met again 2 days later. Then again the next week. Coffee turned into dinners, dinners into walks through Central Park. Jordan was patient, never pushing, but Rogue felt the pull stronger every time they said goodbye. One evening, after a quiet dinner in the West Village, they stood outside Rogue's apartment building. Jordan looked at him. I like you, Rogue. A lot. Rogue's breath caught. I like you too. Jordan stepped closer. But I don't want to be your secret forever. Rogue felt the weight of the words. I know. They didn't kiss. Not yet. But the air between them crackled. 3 weeks later, Rogue's parents announced they were coming to visit. The news hit like a punch. They wanted to see his apartment, meet his friends, and, unspoken, make sure he hadn't gone astray in the big city. Rogue panicked. He told Jordan. Jordan listened, then said, You don't have to tell them anything you're not ready for. But they'll ask. They'll see right through me. Then decide what you want to do. Rogue didn't sleep that night. The visit was tense. His parents marveled at the city but criticized everything. The noise, the crowds, the lifestyle. They asked about girls. Rogue lied, said he was too busy for dating. On the last night, his mother found a text from Jordan on Rogue's phone while he was in the shower. She read it. When Rogue came out, she was sitting on the couch, face pale. Who is this Jordan? Rogue froze. A friend. A friend who calls you beautiful? The room spun. His father stood. Rogue, are you? Rogue couldn't speak. His mother started crying. We raised you better than this. They left the next morning without saying goodbye. Rogue sat on his floor for hours, numb. Then he called Jordan. Jordan came over immediately. He held Rogue while he cried. No words, just presence. I don't know what to do, Rogue whispered. You don't have to decide tonight, Jordan said. But you can't keep living for them. Months passed. Rogue and Jordan grew closer, but the rift with his family remained. They stopped calling. Rogue sent messages. No replies. He started therapy. He started attending a support group for LGBTQ people from religious backgrounds. He began to understand that his worth wasn't tied to their approval. Jordan was steady, loving, but he had his own struggles. His ex, Mark, had cheated and left him broken. Jordan was afraid of being hurt again. One night, after a long day, Jordan said, I'm scared, Rogue. I want this to work, but I need to know you're all in. Rogue took his hand. I'm trying. I really am. They kissed for the first time that night. Slow, tentative, full of everything they hadn't said. But the drama wasn't over. Rogue's church back home heard rumors. The pastor called, asking if the stories were true. Rogue hung up. Then his sister texted, Mom's sick. She wants to see you. But only if you come back to God. Rogue stared at the message for hours. Jordan sat beside him. What do you want to do? I don't know. Rogue flew home. The house smelled the same, cinnamon and old books. His mother was thinner, eyes tired. His father stood in the doorway, arms crossed. We just want our son back, his mother said. Rogue sat on the couch. I am your son. I'm just gay. The word hung in the air. His father walked out. His mother cried. We love you, but this is a sin. Rogue left that night. He didn't cry on the plane. He felt hollow. Back in New York, Jordan waited at the airport. Rogue walked straight into his arms. I chose me, he whispered. Jordan held him tight. I'm proud of you. They built a life together, slowly, carefully. Rogue came out at work. He made new friends. He started designing projects that mattered to him. But the scars remained. Holidays were quiet. Phone calls were rare. One evening, years later, Rogue sat with Jordan on their balcony. City lights glittering below. Do you ever regret it? Jordan asked. Rogue looked at him. No, but I miss them sometimes. Jordan nodded. That's okay. They sat in silence, hands linked. True or false? Love is worth losing your family for.